Yes, sir. Back at it
Yo,
again.
yo, yo. We're back at it again, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. I see a lot of y'all was in here early, man. My bad. Had a little setback this morning, so we had to push it back about 20 minutes. But we still in here, man. We still in here. Chris, what's
Yes,
good,
sir.
man? Tell me something good, man. Tell me something good.
Hey, man. Open up the eyes this morning so you winning. You know what I'm saying? That's already a win right there for you already. But yeah, man, it's time to get into some more Falcons talk. The quarterback situation, of course, is continuously going to be a topic of discussion. So it's just like, hey, man, and now, bro, it's just so crazy because now, after a good outing from Jack Strand, Michael Penix gets cleared, and now you got all these different talking heads all of a sudden now trying to place quarterbacks with the Falcons. It's just so funny, but I guess it's just so easy to do too as well, man. Chat, what's going on? How y'all feeling out there? Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning. And Smitty will be back in a few seconds here. Oh yeah, definitely stay hydrated. Appreciate that, Auntie Joy, with the 550 on the jewels. And that's something new, man. Too, by the way, that thing I'm still figuring it all out. Still figuring that all out, but appreciate that. Let's see what the chat's talking about, man. Who in the chat this morning? Who we got in here? Joe, what's going on? John, Big John, what's happening? How you feeling? Can't hear you, Smitty. Says smooth, Smitty. Chris A. One morning to you all. Go Falcons, Hawks.
I ain't saying nothing. I was just listening. I
Oh,
had to go pick up me some water.
Nothing wrong with that. DBG, what's going on? Jenny, Telvin, Dan, Allen, Ski, all up in here, man. Will, Clay, Diggs, Nate, Melvin, Amazing, JT. What's good, everybody?
There's a lot of people in here this morning. Y'all coming in this morning.
What's good,
Y'all
Ron?
on your lunch break.
Michael, Drea, what's happening? Hey, what's going on, family? What
Everybody
it
on their
do?
lunch break, I guess.
Hey, man, it may be around about that time. It may be
Miss
around.
Jenny said, good morning. Happy to catch y'all another live show. We appreciate you. Looking forward to hearing your roster projection takes on the players and still on the bubble with cut day so close. One of my other subscribers asked me that yesterday. So what we gonna do? Thursday, we're gonna find time Thursday to do a roster projection and some cuts. And I got a couple of cuts I might put out before then. Surprise cuts like we did last year. And the crazy thing about it, A1 was right on last year, but somehow Troy Anderson made it back for one more season, but ended up getting cut this year. So
it was just a little delay.
Yeah, a little foretold. So I mean, hey, it happens. It happens. But like he said, man, good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody doing all right. Auntie Joy in the building, man. Hope she doing all right. I know she working this morning. So she got to be on. She probably on the clock bullshit, but that's what she do. But all love, all love.
I think we play at 7:00 on Friday.
Yeah, 7 on Friday. Yeah.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
Get It GA. What's good, my guy? Man, y'all please go check out Let's Get It GA on YouTube, man. Another Falcon content creator,
That's
man. He doing his thing.
That's not Let's Get It.
Atlanta GA faithful. See, it's morning. I'm still waking up, man. I'm still waking up.
He ain't had his chicken.
Still waking up.
Y'all. He ain't had his chicken.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna have them soon. You already know it. Please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, so every time we drop videos on A1 Forever or Smitty Sports Machine, y'all will be in tune. And right before we jump on live, it'll give y'all a 30-minute notice in advance to give y'all time to warm up, go get your snacks, and do what you need to do before you catch us. Before you catch us doing our thing, man. Patrick Daniels, what's up, my guy? Zay, what's good? But yeah, man. She said sunshine. She got jokes. But yeah, man, what we talking about today? Let's go and just get into it, cause it's a hot topic out there, man. Travis, what's good, my guy? Hot topic, and we just gonna get into it right now. Shout out to our nephew Daniel Flick, man. He doing this thing. I told y'all Daniel gonna be special, man. He gonna be special. Miss Jean said, "Do y'all get anything when we send jewels, or it's just another form of digital props?" I'm curious to know that myself, Miss Jean. I got to look more into it. I'm definitely looking into it today. I know I've been saying it, but man, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
To be honest,
But
I think it just maybe go toward maybe the video or something. Like maybe it help push it or something. You know, kind
it
of like
probably help. Yeah, I
not
agree.
like
Like
push the
TikTok.
vibe or whatever. I don't know. Maybe something like
Yeah,
that.
probably like TikTok, because they get points over there, and the more points they get to another level on their live, and the more levels they get on their live, it push it further and further out into the universe. So if that's the case, thank you for it. If it's monetary, thank you for it. If it's just a simple gesture, thank you for that as well. But I'm curious to know myself, but I will figure it out. Trust me.
Got to get Sherlock Holmes a secret squirrel on this one. Man, I'm trying to tell you. I don't know.
There you go. Early in the morning. But yeah, man, shout out to our nephew Daniel Flick, man. He doing this thing already, making an impact already in the community, man. And I saw him the other day, taking time out to chat with y'all and answer questions, man. And he's known for doing that. He was actually doing that before he got the job. But shout out to him, man. Indiana's finest. But he said head coach Kevin Stefanski asked if Jack Strand put himself in contention for QB1. Spoke highly of Strand, but didn't want to comment on his involvement in the race. And we're going to jump in that in a second. We're not going to put those type of things out there, which is the right thing to say. PR move. We're focused on day to day. And he said the right thing. You don't want to put the wrong impression out there, and then it just throw the whole locker room in shambles. You just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But right quick before we get into the video, man, tell me what you think about this comment right quick.
I mean, come on now. It's just like kind of like the elephant in the room. You'd be a fool not to really just acknowledge what's going on. Yes, it's preseason games, but regardless, I mean, the potential is there. I mean, the frame is there. You don't want to dive too deep into the well and just be like, oh, yeah, man, Jack Strand. But it's hard not to. It's hard not to, especially because you think about it. We've been broke at the quarterback position for quite some time. We haven't made the playoffs. We have all these skill players, etc. We just got to fix the quarterback position. Falcons fans are going to push the narrative just off of GP because, again, this guy is looking pretty good. And Falcon fans remember what other quarterbacks in preseason look like. And you can just go ahead and throw them in the garbage can. So it's like, see a guy that actually looks like he could be something, so that is something that's going to raise the eyebrows of Falcons fans, regardless of what people outside of Atlanta are looking at, So I'm not surprised that Jack Strand's name is being mentioned. And honestly, like between, him and Tua right now, Strand is looking like the best quarterback. And of course, Tua has to figure out his rhythm. But again, man, Jack Strand, you can't overlook what he is doing so far. And he has another game preseason coming up that I'm pretty sure he's going to play in to impress even more. Think about it. We talked about building off of games, right? Well, these players are building well. And think about it. Jack was the only person that's been scoring touchdowns for real. Even against the Broncos, he moved the ball. That's a tougher defense, yes, but he still was able. And I know I get that the flavor on the field is vanilla bean. I get it. But at the same time, even with that, he is still operating, was still able to get a touchdown for the Falcons and move the ball, move the offense, had an even better showing. So built off of the Broncos showing to the Colts showing, if he builds off of that Colts and goes to the Dolphins and plays even better, then it's like, what are you going to be able to say? You're not going to be able to deny this man, or at least an opportunity, because Falcon fans are going to call for it anyway. You can try to ignore that noise, but it's going to be way too loud.
Yeah, facts. And when the last time you had a young quarterback other than Matt Ryan come in and just show himself from the jump? That was the last time I could see it, because you got to remember Chris Chandler was here before Michael Vick even took the field, and that was in year 2. So right. I mean, you don't get a young quarterback, especially undrafted, comes in right away and just wows fans. It just doesn't happen. Because I remember back in the day, and a lot of OG Falcon fans can remember this dude named what was that kid's name back in '91? It was right around the time we had Favre. It was a black guy and a black quarterback. Gilbert Renfro was his name, and he had a very strong preseason way back then, and everybody just knew he was going to make the team. And Jerry Glanville cut him as well. So I mean, we just don't have these opportunities, very often. But to see what he did last week, to see what he did last week, it gave us a plus that we have another quarterback in the competition. And when we get in the video, he's going to talk about how they prepare every week. And really, in so many words, he just couldn't say it. But honestly, he's not surprised. He's not surprised at all. Because I feel like this has a lot to do with Matt Ryan. And I'm telling y'all, Matt Ryan had a lot to do with this scouting and what's going on with the quarterback position right now, because you see him out there on the field doing practice. He's probably in the film room. He's probably doing everything he can to help each of these quarterbacks get ready for this season. But go ahead.
The thing about you mentioned Matt Ryan's name, he talked about Strand, the accuracy, and it was so crazy. Right on cue, Strand runs one in. And that excited Matt Ryan as well. The thing about it, the man can run, he can pass, he stays in the pocket, he can move around in the pocket, he can escape the pocket. It's like, all right, y'all. And the thing about it is, he doesn't try to do too much. You see, he took his check downs when they were there, but he showed you again, short, intermediate, and long. He can make all the throws. And we talk about Michael Penix, as we should, being able to make all the throws. Don't just, sleep on Jack Strand. That was some a couple of good throws, especially that one on the sideline, the Wells. He dropped that one in the bucket. It's so many quarterbacks that went higher than Jack Strand that can't make that throw.
Man.
I mean, you think about, and the last thing about Strand before we play the video.
Okay.
Strand could have definitely been one of those guys that could have transferred and went to one of these top name schools. He had offers. He wanted to stay where he was with his guys, the guys that he was in the mud and in the trenches with, and decided to make, and also think about this too. He is a major, an engineer major, so he has a brain. He wanted to stay around the people that, that would help him grow into the person that he is now. That's character right there. He could have definitely went to Ohio State or one of these other teams that, was looking for him to come on up there and would have been a top draft pick. But he decided not. That hurt his draft stock. It hurt him tremendously. But one thing about talent, if you got it, they'll find you.
Yeah, they're going to find you. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And another thing about engineering, he could have went to Georgia Tech if he wanted to. He's just that smart. Right. So sometimes perspective is everything. If he has that type of perspective in college, imagine what he's going to do at the next level as far as keeping his teammates in his inner circle and, and being there for them. Razor Boy, I see that question. We're gonna answer that in a second. Well, a little later on. But also, man, thank you to Nate, Miss Drill, and Joy for giving me what's going on with the Google the GMs and things. It's digital currency. So Chris, you were right. And it's the same thing they really have on TikTok.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, let's get into this quick video right quick and go on and knock it out. Let me make sure I got it on the right one. So we'll just start at this point and we'll move forward.
Okay.
Okay, so we're right here.
There it is.
And blow this thing up and get it moving.
Well,
okay.
We're trying. You try to be, I'll use the word intentional again, and I think credit to Tommy Reese, Alex Van Pelt, and how they've structured this is making sure that everybody's getting what they need to get ready, what they need to show what they can do, all the above. So obviously with the different 7-on-7 drills that we've done have been important to make sure that guys are getting enough reps.
How do you plan to split snaps now with the ones at QB?
Yeah, you'll see it today. We'll work through different guys. Mike will have some reps in there too. Obviously, we'll have some reps in there.
Going back to what you were saying about development, I know last week you kind of said, even after the first preseason game, about wanting to be more efficient in the run game. You just complimented the protection of the guys up front. When you look at kind of the development, even within a week time frame from the offensive line, how do you feel like that adheres to what you're talking about with this development?
Specifically the run game? Yeah, I thought, run game in the joint practices, in the games, it's no secret when any offense blocks the right guys, you give your runners a chance. I thought that we had the players did a nice job. The offensive line, the tight ends did a nice job in the game of getting it and having a guy for a guy. So, like, for instance, on TG's touchdown, you can't block everybody, so you're gonna have to make a defensive back miss. In that case, he did. So the guys did a nice job understanding their roles. Now you get in the games, the defenses that you see evolve and become more exotic, and you have to work even harder as an offense to make sure that you're getting the proper blocking schemes versus a given look. So those type of challenges will grow as you get into the regular season.
Kendall Daniels seems.
So there he talks about them and preparation, and that's what we need to see. Preparation is something that's going to be key this season, because when you talk about Tua coming back from multiple concussions, learning the loose system, and we talked about the other night when we saw his press conference in Indy during the joint practice about him still having to grasp what's going on. And honestly, has he really grasped anything? Because I don't think he's going to play Friday and going into week 1. Now that Mike Penix is back, I think it gives Penix an edge if he's ready to go. If he's ready to go week 1, then hey, we could see him in week 1. But again, we won't know anything for sure until that clock pops on that Sunday, September 13th. And look, it's up to them. But go ahead. I got to go back just a little bit because there's a part that I missed. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, man. But yeah, like you said, preparation is key. You have to do all the things that you basically can to get all your guys ready, and whatever special needs that they have, you got to go ahead and take care of it. We talk about Tua again, being in the rhythm and stuff. And yesterday was the first day of the real competition. Like, seriously. So you had that going, and honestly, at first, not Tua, but Michael Penix was running with the 2s. But when he started running with the 1s, that's when his day started getting a little bit better. And he got tested, to a degree. He had to at least run, because third play, the defense, made him have to scramble out the pocket, and he had to run to the sideline. So, okay, testing out those legs, in that regard, that's cool and whatnot. So, but overall, he went 4 of 8, with his passing. Had one of the best passes of the day. Drake London caught the pass. And also, you think about this, though. Like, I don't know if this was by design or what, but Smitty, most of Tua's snaps were handoffs to Bijan Robinson, and then when he did throw, he was unable to connect.
Dump off. Yeah, it was a dump off, and I think Kyle Pitts was his target 4 in those 5 attempts.
But he didn't connect with anybody. He went 0 of 3.
Boy,
he went 0 of 3, and the rest of them were just handoffs out of 11
that's
snaps.
Bad news.
Out of 11 snaps now, and Michael Penix got 14.
To me, that means he's not picking up on the offense yet. Ski, it ain't got nothing to do with his health. I'm talking about up here, and I've said that multiple times. He said it himself. He's got to be ready mentally. If he's ready mentally, yeah, he'll be ready to go week 1. It ain't got nothing to do with his knee no more. We know that. Trust me, we know. But when you up here, that's part of your health too. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, mental health. Yeah, got to be right with the health, man.
Ashton Strand to be quarterback 1. Go ahead, you can read. Go ahead.
I said Ashton Strand to be QB1 now would ruin that young man's NFL career. He's going to be great, but let him develop and grow into it the right way. I totally agree, to be honest.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Jack Strand is one of those guys to where it's like we could be talking about next year going into the season, or at least going into training camp, that Jack Strand and Michael Penix Jr. is competing for the quarterback QB1 spot. We could legit be talking about that next season.
Facts. And then we talked about that months ago. I'll let you get this question right here, and then I get into it.
Okay, Razor Boy said, "What's going on, fellas? Question: If MPJ had an interview about 2 weeks ago and said that he's trying to get back mentally, how can he all of a sudden switch it up? I feel like Strand on his heels." Okay, and to be honest with you, I feel that yes, it was 2 weeks ago, and I do not believe that just in 2 weeks you're going to be a fully 100% up top. To go out there and play football. Football is a very physical game, dangerous game. Anything can happen at any given time. Michael Penix knows that 3 times over. So exactly, like, I don't think that he's all the way right, but my thing is getting into football shape is another thing that he needs to do. 11 on 11s, he just getting there. So he has to get those reps with the guys. Again, he tried to hit Jahan Dotson on the sideline. He was unable to connect. But that's because, the lack of reps that he's had with those guys, in that 11 on 11 setting. So now that you have him in that, I think you need to just go ahead. If he's feeling good, if he's not sore or having any fluid, any of that crazy mess going on, then, let him play the week out with the 11 on 11s, because Coach Ski already said that he feels like that's the best simulation to the games. Yeah, preseason, they keep score, but he feels the 11 on 11s is the best way to get the effectiveness. So let him do that.
I agree with that. 100%.
And Tua needs to play Friday. I'm telling you, Tua needs to play.
Absolutely, he does.
I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead. Well, now go ahead.
Before you go on, the reason why I feel that we saw this with Michael Walker before he got cut. He was on the team on the field in the fourth quarter with the third string practice squad players. Very next day he gets cut, and he was a former starter now. And again, Chris pointed this out. He's been pointed out. It's only $1.3 million. We don't really lose anything if we cut to him. He's getting paid $50 million just to sit at home. So just think about that. He's not losing anything. It's just a tryout. And honestly, I said this the other day, and agree or disagree if you want. He did not look motivated at all in that press conference. I'm just telling y'all. It's just my opinion and my observation. He didn't have that energy as a quarterback, starting quarterback needed to have. And basically, that's what Steve Smith was pointing out last week when he made those comments about he should have took the Bulls by the horn at the QB1 position, because he knows a quarterback that's been in the league as long as Tua has, it should be like riding a bicycle at this point, no matter what offense you is. Like he said himself, even the language in the offense is different, but it's really the same scheme. Think about that. And we talked about that. When they beat us last year in Atlanta, they pretty much running what we running, just a better job at it. Just saying. But finish it.
Yeah, man. Just getting that. That's oh man. Just that game from Atlanta. That's what a lot of people are hanging on. That's what you think about that too. When Tua, he beat us with one eye. I'm like, okay, y'all. It just like I never fed into that whole thing. And then, when bringing him in, again, I always thought it would be a bridge thing. I never thought that he would take it by the reins and we'd be signing him to a long-term extension. I never felt that way. I feel like, honestly, it's Michael Penix's job. And moving forward, if Michael Penix can stay healthy, and again, Jack Strand can continue to develop, I'm telling you, next season, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at possibly Michael Penix Jr. and Jack Strand going at it for QB1. Possibly. Seriously.
Yeah. And 2 or 2 if he's in the mix. I'm sorry. Penix if he's in the mix.
Let me ask
you. Case. Okay, go ahead. Answer his question. Go ahead.
Because, all right, I feel like he should play Friday. Now, I seen someone say, maybe he should play a half. I think they want Cooper Rush to get some time too. So maybe those two will go like a quarter or a quarter. And then I think maybe Jack Strand may end up having this whole second half, to be honest.
That's the way it's set up. That's the way. That was pretty much what he was saying, that they were going to go like they did last week. So, yeah, that is pretty much the same, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if Strand going to have a whole half to himself to prove what he got, I feel like that's a good look. And Cooper Rush, if you want to get him the second quarter to see if he can build off of that 10 of 11 showing that he had that bounce back game against the Colts. Give him an opportunity, but Tua, to me, needs to play an entire quarter. I need Tua to play an entire quarter because roster cuts are coming up. But my question to you and the fan base is, does Tua have any kind of trade value right now?
Ooh, that's a good question. Shout out to Uncle Steve. He had this on his show yesterday, man. Y'all go check him out on Uncle Steve Lounge. He talked about Tua. Is he expendable? Yes, I feel like he is expendable. Any quarterback is at this point, unless you Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, you're making oobers of money that they can't afford to pay. Even look at Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. That's why he's starting.
That contract,
but everybody has trade value. Would it be worth it? Probably not. But at the same time, if you can get that same production out of Cooper Rush and you're paying him less than what you're paying Tua, and Jack Strand comes along and be the QB3, absolutely you can think about trading. If you get a 7th round pick, you win because you signed him for $1.3 million, absolutely nothing. So it's like a tryout with a draft pick attached to it. So absolutely, I think he has trade value. Every quarterback does. But the thing about it, if they bring him in, it's going to be the same thing. They're bringing him in to see can he last through a whole season, because I keep telling you, like I said about Troy, he got one foot on that field, the other in retirement, mainly because of the concussions. But at the same time, if he can't get back into rhythm, I can see him out of here. But 7th round pick is probably what they'll get for him, and that could be not next year, but the year after. Who knows? But it really depends on the team and their need for quarterback. And one team that I think would do it is probably the Arizona Cardinals, because Carson Beck is developing just like Strand. Jacoby Brissett is on the last year of his deal, and they're going to need another backup. So, Arizona would be my guess right off top. But yes, absolutely he has trade value.
Yeah, I think he does as well. I'm thinking, maybe a 6 or 7 round. Yeah, and it's going to be one of these low-level teams that you're probably going to have to be trying to light the shot for. Anybody that has a quarterback, and most of those teams have backups that they're cool with too. So it's like, where are you going to be able to go? At first, I was thinking about maybe New York. I was thinking maybe them, but I know that they got Jackson Dart, true, and I think they got Jameis backing up too. So it's right. But I mean, hey, Tua could be another option for them. I mean, you got the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, Deshaun is up there, Shedeur is up there, Gabriel's up there, but that ain't never stopped the Browns before. So it's just, it's not a lot of teams though. So it's like you would call a lot of these teams, they say no, and if you have no team left, then you may have to either ride with them or just cut them.
And I see people saying he don't have a trade value. Every player has trade value if it's a team need. If a team needs a quarterback, an emergency quarterback, say like if anybody that's outside of Miami because he's getting paid from there. Let's just say I'll say Houston Texans. Young CJ Stroud on the last year his deal because they didn't pick up his 5th option. Let's say like they're in need of a quarterback in week 3 or week 4, and they say, hey, we'll give you a 6th round pick for Tua because we need to fill this position. We talk about it all the time in basketball. If they know you have a need, they're going to charge you more just because they know it's a need. So if there's a need for a quarterback, he's going to always have a job. It's just that can he keep sustaining mentally and physically past what he's went through the first 6 years, 7 years of his career. So that's the main question. But absolutely he has trade value. I think at least a 7th round pick. Just to get him off the roster, and if the team has a need. And he's not going to cost much. He's going to be at the vet minimum again.
Right. For sure. That's what I'm at with it, bro. Like, bro, it's just not looking good. Again, and I say that all the time, 1.3, bro. 1.3, that's not a lot of money for me to be worried about. And then I'm not tied to Tua. I just brought Tua in to try to see if he can come in and be a part of the team, help the quarterback room. And if he can't do that, then guess what? It was a guy named Morgan Fox that we signed and gave money to. And I think we gave him more money than what we paid Tua different regime, yeah, but we brought him in to
I
be.
think we gave him like 5 or 6 million, if I'm not mistaken.
I know it's
It was
no what we paid Tua.
It was about 4 or 5, I'm sure. Because you said we pay him all that money, and then one of the young guys took his spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's how the NFL works.
You had Dorless that came up. You had Dorless that came up, and you had Zach Harrison showing all those guys, and then made this guy expendable. And he was a veteran. Yeah, got paid, all that stuff, but he got cut because he wasn't able to produce like the others. This is the same situation, just a more important position, but it's still only 1.3, and that's the bottom line and the baseline. Then you look at Jack Strand's contract. Jack Strand, you won't even be paying him over $5 million for the next few years, and then he's a restricted free agent.
Right, and that's the crazy thing. If you had your future quarterback on the roster for less than $1 million, that would be butt booty wild. But
that's what you want, though. That's what we've been trying to do.
That's how you keep building the rest of the team. Yeah.
Since Desmond Ridder, bro, we've been trying to draft a quarterback, have a guy, you know what I'm saying, that we can have low money to, but he's at the most important position, put the pieces around him, and then you have a team.
Right, and the crazy thing about it, we didn't draft him. We signed him as a free agent. That would be wow. But Ghost Pepper said, he said, A1, that's facts, man. Tua needs to be out there, especially out the rough preseason opener and struggles and turnovers in time and in practice. What I read, Tua is locked in to get those reps this Friday night, and he needs to. He needs to, point blank, period. Yeah, Dan, I said the same thing. Yeah. If somebody get hurt, they need a starter, a quick fill in. Yeah, you got to make that move. Miss Drill, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. As always, she said Tua just doesn't appear to love ball. The problem is, I don't think he has much trade stock. It is true, but again, if there's a need, they'll give a 7-round pick. And like I said, it could be down the road 2028, 2029, because they pushed the limit to 3 years instead of 2. So now you can trade 3 years down the road. So it could be 2028, and we won't even be thinking about that pick. But Coach Ski won't discuss him or any other player that aren't locks because he knows the other 31 are watching, and we've been talking about that. Yeah, we've been talking about that. When them other 31 teams watching, and we said that on another show, and it's not only him, it's just other players, period. Carlos Allen is another one that I know a lot of teams looking at. It's plenty. Josh Simon, I can keep going on and on. Trust me. They watching. The scout team never has a day off. Never. They working 24/7, 365. Dan said he disagreed because it's too late in the season to learn a system and be productive. Dan, when you are a veteran in this league, like I said, pretty much playbooks are the same. The verbiage is just different. The film preparation is just different. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the same, pretty much the same scheme. West Coast, what they call it, zone blocking. It's all the same, just different verbiage, and people run it different. That's the only difference, I think.
But you know what? There is a difference. It's a difference in the quarterback, though. Will the quarterback,
exactly.
Will that particular quarterback in Tua be able to pick up the verbiage from a different team if he's still working on the verbiage here?
Right. Yeah. And maybe, you know what I'm saying, those concussions, his processing might be different, the way he processes things. And and I'm not trying to pick at him, but it's just a proven fact. Headshots, it's just like you in a car accident. Some people lose some parts of their memory in car accidents and never the same. And what do people say? What do the NFL hit like? When you get hit in an NFL game, it's like a car wreck every play.
Yeah, every play. Almost like a little mini car wreck. That's what they say.
Yeah, Mike said, do y'all think concussions and the play action system is what's scaring Tua? Because it's not hindering, it's scaring Tua. It's not hindering him. And you're right. Maybe he's there probably processing what's going on. And y'all got to think the play action seems easy and is effective as hell. But it's a simulation of the run. You're faking a run to throw a pass, and you have to put more into the play. So maybe, he could be scared to a certain point.
Should we be talking about the mental of Tua more often? I mean, it's not nothing that gets talked about because he's been removed from the concussions for like about going into like his second season now. But
2 years, yeah.
But people been jumping on Michael Penix. Oh yeah. Cam Newton said he need to be right. He may be seeing ghosts. Who's to say that Tua's not seeing a ghost or two every now and then?
Agreed.
I'm not trying to jump on Tua. We're having a conversation and different things are coming up and different thoughts are coming across my mind and I'm just sharing them. Like, so, okay. Like,
that's a good point though. That's a good point because if we talking about Penix's knee and is it going to give out? What if Tua, what if it coconut crack one more time and he's just done? I mean, because we don't know. Honestly, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
so, again, but a $1.3 million contract, that's cheap enough to take that chance. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm just saying, because my thing is the whole narrative, and still, even with these new narratives, I seen the Dan Orlowski thing where he says, "Oh, Falcons need to trade for was it Stetson Bennett? Yeah, Stetson Bennett." And then you have Skip Bayless. I'm just like, Skip, where in the world are you coming from out of left field? But anyway,
Skip is a year behind. If we had this conversation last year, oh yeah, I would give them whatever they wanted for Shedeur.
But now, he brings up Shedeur Sanders. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure Shedeur to Atlanta would have a lot of Falcon fans happy. It have Deion Sanders, smiling like a Cheshire cat. So, I mean, and I get it. But at the same time, it's just like, bro, we already have a situation right now that we're trying to figure out.
Nightmare.
And you think about this, bro, like, why do people keep forgetting that we have a GM that said and stated, look, we will never be on the lack of draft picks ever again as long as I'm here. So why are y'all trying to continue to have this man, trying to make this man out of a liar? I'm just saying, because you trade for Shedeur, that's draft capital going out the door. Same thing for Stetson Bennett if you trade for the Rams and all that stuff like that. Regardless, even if it's a 7th rounder, it's still draft capital going out the door. And this man says, I want to build on my draft capital. I want to draft them. I want to build them up and produce them like that. I don't want to have to go out and just trading out all my draft picks and just, getting players. He has a different philosophy. And
let me add a little context to that one. I mean, a lot of people saying, but this is a 7th-round pick. That's to me a development player. Think about what the Falcons got into their 7th-round pick this year. Ethan Oniwa, he is a 7th-round pick, but he's a former 4-year starter at Rice. Didn't play at Ohio State because he was behind some of the best in the nation. But what we've been seeing in training camp and OTAs and things like that, he's gradually growing, and we could see him as a starter somewhere down the road. So draft picks matter no matter what round it is. And look at Jack Strand. Like Chris said, you see him make some throws that some people got drafted in the 1st round hadn't even made yet. Man. Think about that. So every pick that we trade away, it counts. But Ms. Jenny said no matter how bad NFL quarterbacks are rare, and there will always be a team in need, I don't think it'll take long for someone to scoop him up. Mm-hmm. That's all we've been saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because you think about it, regardless in the league right now, Tua has starting caliber capabilities. Right now, that's what the narrative still is until he continues to show otherwise. But there are plenty of guys that are 2nd string, 3rd string right now that Tua probably can take their job and still be a backup. Again, like I said, if the Giants, things ain't working with Jackson Dart and you have Jameis Winston up there, you can possibly have Tua right up there with him.
Agreed.
Browns ain't working out. If something goes awry with Kirk Cousins out there with the Raiders and Mendoza's not ready, it's just all these different teams, regardless, quarterback is always going to be a hot commodity. Now, right. I don't know how much, capital you're going to get. But
perfect example, Chris. Dan Orlowski, an ESPN NFL analyst. He was a clipboard holder, I know 9 of the 11 years he was in the league. But he always had a job because there was always a need. that's why he's always breaking out of these scenarios, because he knows as a backup how quick things can change and how teams can make moves. And people don't agree with a lot of things he say, but he know these things because he was in that position once before. But Keith said, I think Tua need to get his stuff together because he's supposed to lead and hold down Penix. Get ready by week 3 or week 4.
Right.
I mean, we'll see.
I get that.
Miss Tanya said, I just don't think Penix knees are going to hold up. How many times can you reconstruct the ligament until it's shredded? I mean, Miss Tanya, the doctor said it. He said, quoted, he shouldn't have another problem out of his knee.
Yeah, bro.
That's what we were told.
That right there is where I just be having the pushback, because you are only a man. You're not God. You can't tell what's going to happen next and everything. That's just a very bold statement. I'm not saying the doc is going to be wrong. I'm hoping that the doc be right, because I don't want Michael Penix to have another injury. Period. I don't care if it's a pinky. I don't care if it's a pinky. I don't want him to have an injury at all. So but that is just a bold statement, because doctors be wrong all the time. That's why they call it a practice. They have a practitioner. You know what I'm saying? Because they out there practicing on us all. So I'm like, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see.
And sometimes you got to take those chances. Let's get it. What's up, my guy? Y'all go check out Let's Get It J. I talked about him a little bit earlier in the show. This is what I was talking about. Like I said, I'm just waking up and I'm still half asleep right now. I was a little bit under the weather yesterday, but I'm feeling much better today. I see another comment I want to use. Somebody talk about, 2 people in the chat talk about Joe Milton. I would let him stay in Dallas. I think he has superior arm, superior talent, fast, can run just like Strand can. But if I'm Dallas, I would keep him around, because Dak Prescott is not going to be there forever. Ms. Drill said, I'm scared. I really hate to say it, but I don't want 2 on our field. Fear of him getting a fatal hit. I just want Juju looming over our locker room. All that Juju. Yeah, and I know what she mean. I know what she mean by that. But yeah, I get it.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time Tua had a concussion, it was scary. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was just crazy. Thank you, Dan. But I'm just being honest though, man, out there, just with the whole situation. Then you have Strand. Strand can be a situation again, going back to him. It's hard not to talk about him. He can just be a situation where really you can develop this guy, man. You can really have him sit back and develop. Then if you do get rid of Tua, okay, Cooper Rush, well, guess what? A position just became available for you to be like a QB3, or if you want to have him QB2 just off of the veteran experience, and kind of put Jack Strand as the QB3 while you letting him develop, behind the scenes and everything. Like, you can still do that too. Regardless, you got to keep him on the roster, because he's already shown that he has capabilities. I get it. The last guy that was an undrafted free agent that was able to pop was Tony Romo. Now, yeah, that was a long time ago, but at the same time, things are possible to happen again. And would it be great for it to happen to the Falcons? Yes, but at the same time, we have to develop this guy, make sure that we can get the best out of him. Don't hinder him, because we've seen guys get hindered before with the toolage when it comes to the quarterback position or the lack thereof, and they don't make it. So you have a good coaching staff. Remember, we should be excited because you have Engstrom, you have Alex Van Pelt, AVP. So you have Tommy Reese, who's up there as well, Coach Stefanski, all these, offensive minds, and all these guys who works on the mechanics and all the little tinkers. These quarterbacks should be seeing the best out of these quarterbacks. Penix, Tua, Strand, but right now it seems like the only ones who are really benefiting the most that we are seeing results from is Strand first, Penix because he's just coming back to 11 on 11s, and Tua is bringing up the rear, actually behind Cooper Rush, if you ask me. So it's like, they're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks.
But if they're smart, Jack Strand, keep him as the 3rd quarterback and put Cooper Rush on the practice squad. If somebody scoops him up, oh well, just deal with it. But that's something that you can you can afford to lose. A-Town said both Strand and Penix had completion rate of 63% in college, but completion wasn't at the same level. But think about this. Tua has one of the highest completion percentage as a quarterback in the NFL since he's been here at nearly 70%. So he's a rhythm quarterback. And what it seems like what's happening is he's just not in rhythm with this offense. Maybe it may take a while. And again, if that's the case, he definitely needs to play Friday. If he's going to be on this team past the week 3 preseason game, he needs to be on that Field Friday to see if he can shake whatever he has going, whatever mojo he's missing. He needs to be on the field to get that rhythm going, because if he doesn't going into week 1 and they're even thinking about starting him, I'm kind of worried myself. Just being honest with y'all. I'm worried.
Penix and Stefanski offense gives us the highest ceiling. I totally agree. That's why I want to see Michael Penix, so much. When we first brought in all these coaches, and I'm just sitting back and I was just thinking, I said, this could be the best chance that Michael Penix has to really show what he has, and whatever quarterbacks, we were going to have. I knew it wasn't going to be Kurt, but I'm just like, Michael Penix has the best opportunity right here. And now you have Jack Strand as well. The same can be said for him. Now, I know he played at Division II schools, but you just think about it. If he's like the best talent on the field, he can't go out there and play offense and defense. He can only play his position. And I know he had so many touchdowns, so many yards, all this stuff. A durable guy. And you're seeing the same thing right now in 2 preseason games where he's going out there and he's showing what he has. My thing is, when you look at other fan bases, they're building up their undrafted guys, or their guys that look like, hey, they didn't expect too much from them, but wow, look at that pop. I said, like, they're doing the same thing. So why can't we do the same thing? Why are people within our fan base that are out there kind of like discrediting what Jack Strand is doing, when we have seen guys who have been in the league longer than Jack Strand, guys who were coming from different teams, being journeymen, doing jack nothing in the preseason in a Falcons uniform at the quarterback position.
And the great thing, I'm glad you said that. Look at what Cooper Rush did that first game. He was pathetic.
Bro,
I didn't even think he had it in him to do what he did last Saturday. The way that first preseason game, look, I thought he was going to get cut after the game. But they gave him another chance. They turned it around. And this shows you that this coaching staff, they know what they're doing, because he looked like a totally different quarterback last Saturday.
Yeah, man. Just put things in perspective, man, because I remember Taylor Heineke going out there not looking good. I remember, I remember guys like that, I remember even older quarterbacks.
We know what pull up with the stick did last year. We know what he did.
Come on now. We seen what Cooper Rush did his first game. Now, again, yes, the Colts game, he had a better game, but guess what? Jack Strand had an even better game. So it's like, okay. And Jack Strand, again, was the only quarterback that was able to do something against that Broncos defense, no matter what strings it was in, because all those guys are out there fighting. And if you're on that Broncos team, as much as I don't like Sean Payton, I give him his credit. He has his guys ready, no matter what string they are.
Yeah. And that's a sign of a productive and a good coach. But Authentic said a question, and this is a good question. He said, why is Penix labeled injury prone when you have players like Joe Burrow, who had 3 season-ending surgeries in 6 seasons? One word, resume. He made it to a Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
No, I know. Let me finish. I agree with this 100%. But the only reason why is, 1, he made a Super Bowl. He beat Kansas City, and he had that run. 2, media. They looking at the accomplishment he had in college with that LSU team. Media is everything when it comes to hype. Media is the reason why we tear down players. Media is the reason why we put players on a higher pedestal than others. The media is the reason why he doesn't have that label. Now, it don't have that to do with us. It's the media. Me, I agree with everything. I agree with this 100%. He is injury prone. But at the end of the day, it's what the media perception is and what they perceive him to be. since he beat Patrick Mahomes and made that Super Bowl and nearly won the Super Bowl for the Bengals. I mean, he's straight. He can get injured and probably play 3 more seasons, but he'll always be remembered for that. And that's why he doesn't have that label. But I agree. He could you could say he injury prone.
Yeah, that's tough, man. The thing about Burrow, I think it is because he doesn't have the multiple knees, where he has the one ACL and he had like a thumb and a shoulder and stuff like that. So because he doesn't have multiple knee injuries and everything, I think that's what it is. It's so easy to hone in. And my thing is, because Falcons fans, I'm with y'all on the whole thing with the knee. I don't want Penix to have any more knee injuries because I don't think he has any more in him. But regardless, though, it's really easy to hone in on something that has been repeated, just like a repeat offender. I said, like, to a degree, this is what's going on with his knees. Now, it's a different knee than what the first two was, because the first two was in one knee, and now he has this one in the other knee. But it's still two knees.
But to me, that makes it worse, though.
Yeah, it's two knees.
Now, if either one gets hurt again, hey, you got to say, ooh, where do we go from here?
Yeah, I agree, bro. I mean, that's the danger. You think about it, though. They play a dangerous game. That's what they signed up for. That's what they get paid for. At the end of the day, it's going to be some danger, and it can happen to anybody at any given time. But, it's just probability. And that's what we're talking about here. What is the probability of Michael Penix staying healthy an entire season? What's the probability of him going into, like I say, next year, him and Jack Strand, I say, who's going to be your quarterback? Who's going to be your backup, some type thing. He has to make it there. And then even with Strand, he has to stay healthy. He has to develop. He has to be able to grasp everything. And think about it, he doesn't have any real tape on him. What's going to happen when the NFL tape gets on him? There are so many different elements and variables.
That is an excellent point. When NFL gets tape on you after about 5 to 6 games and they learn how to game plan for you, that's when your mental comes in. That's when your real talent comes in. Because and see, a lot of people don't even think about this part of the game. People prepare week in and week out for you, and they go off tape, not only what they have against you, but what the other teams have you and how they stopped you. So this is why a lot of quarterbacks, after those one-hit wonder seasons, this is why they never the same. I was looking at baseball last night. Cal Riley of the Seattle Mariners, he hit 50 home runs last year. And this year, he hitting 159 he just hit 3 yesterday, but he had 17 now. And this time last year, he was damn near at 40, 50. So, I mean, when people get tape on you and how to pitch you, and on the football field, when they get tape of how you play, I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. Y'all go check out Dixon Way, man, on YouTube, and check him out on TikTok as well, man. He's always doing his thing with the live stream. As he always says, man, turn them TV announcer down, turn Dixon Way all the way up. So y'all please go check out Dixon Way over on YouTube.
Yes, sir. My guy Larry, man, always over there doing his thing. I love checking out Larry's streams, man, because he always got something entertaining going on over there. Even if you can't comment, he's just a good listen to.
Facts. And he's been supporting me a very long time, so y'all please go check him out. Shout out to him. Furball, what's up, my guy? He said, since Penix is clear, there's a way he can start. Agreed. Yes, he can. I'm sorry, but I don't trust Tua. Me personally, I don't feel comfortable with him playing. Is there a way Penix can start? Honestly, I think he should. That's up to Stefanski at the end of the day. If Stefanski feels that he can go out week 1 and say, hey, I know he hadn't played much, but I've seen enough, and sort of like what that guy Raheem said last year. I think there's a chance, because y'all got to remember, even though he hadn't been doing 11 on 11, he still was doing 7-on-7 drills and still working with the wide receivers and the running backs. So there's an outside chance that he could play. I'm not gonna rule it out, but it's 3 weeks away. If he can get things squared away in 3 weeks, but again, like somebody said earlier in the comments, you got to wonder just 2 weeks ago, mentally he wasn't ready. So did he turn the corner just that quick, Or is he trying to push himself to come back because he knows that job could be in jeopardy? And we know what happened with things like that. Cam told him, and hey.
Okay, so is there a possibility? And my thing is, I wouldn't necessarily play Penix on Friday. Penix would have to really convince me this week that he is good, not only mentally, but of course he's been cleared. So I trust the doctors there, but mentally, I'm saying, if he's prepared and ready to go out there on Friday, he would have to show me a lot for that. But okay,
I agree.
Let's say he does go out there though. How many plays do you even give Michael Penix? Do you make him and Tua split the first quarter, and then you roll with Cooper Rush and then Jack Strand in the second half?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because regardless, eventually we're going to have to see Penix regardless. Eventually we're going to have to tear the tape off, the bubble wrap, whatever you want to say. And he's got to get out there eventually anyway, because we have to see what we have in Michael Penix. I still believe that, when things get right, he can be right,
You know what? I agree with that 100%. We keep talking about Tua going out there because he's looked bad. Penix hadn't even seen the field in preseason. He just seen the field really in the whole offseason on 11-on-11 with the defense on the other side. Just think about that. So, I agree. I mean, if you can get him in there for probably the first quarter to see where he's at mentally, and then you'll really have an idea where he is mentally with that first quarter in those first couple of series, if they get 2 to 3 series in that first quarter. So I agree. I would play it just like that. 2 veterans in the first half, Rush and Strand in the second half. Then you'll have a great idea how you want to cut this roster down that next day. That'll give you a film on everything, on how everything is going. So I agree with that 100%.
Because I still got to go back to my bottom line, bro. And that is, you don't know what you have. You don't know like how you're going to feel until you have guys who are trying to make the roster, guys who have pure malice on their mind when it comes to you to really figure it out. Take your first hit, all that stuff. We have to see that stuff regardless. Do I want to rush him? No, I'm not trying to rush Michael Penix at all. But at the same time, y'all, I need to know what we have, because 2027 is on the way, and so is 2028 and every year after that. And I want to know, will Michael Penix be running out there? Will that 9 be running out there on the field for all those years that I'm talking about, or do we have to pivot?
And see that, and we got to know that question. Y'all get mad when we talk about it, but you just paid 3 skill players $260 million, and you pay them that player that kind of money. You got to use them to their fullest extent. You got to have them in the end zone. You got to be winning football games. This is why you pay players, to win football games. And if that quarterback position is not sorted out, you won't be doing no winning around here. I'm telling y'all, it's impossible. But Larry said this season should have been about evaluating MPJ. Tua is a non-factor for me, because if MPJ doesn't show up well or get hurt, then we'll be tanking for Ole Miss or Oregon quarterback. And he's talking about Dante Moore or Trinidad Shepherd.
It's a good point too, man. So that's the same. It's so many different ways. It's so crazy. We don't even have like a regular fork in the road or anything. We got so many things attached to that fork. We got things going on this way, that way. It's so many different ways it can go. We're just hoping it goes, the right way. And I think at the end of the day, the right way is just the best quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons moving forward. We were so spoiled, regardless about what people have to say about Matt Ryan or whatever. We were so spoiled because Matt was durable. We knew who the quarterback was on Sunday, regardless of what the skill players, the coach, whatever. We knew who the quarterback was. Now we're here. Okay, we're here.
Yeah, Zach said, I would say it again, grab bulls by the horn. The difference is Joe Burrow didn't have the check engine light on prior to being drafted.
And that's
Can't
true.
argue with that. Can't argue with that.
That's true. He didn't.
Can't argue with that at all.
Again, I am a Michael Penix supporter, but I mean, that is facts, right?
We all are. But at the same time, when you have question marks coming into the draft and you get drafted that high, guess what they're going to focus on the most? Can you stay healthy?
Indeed.
Can you stay healthy?
And again, your best ability is your availability. That's for everybody. No one is, excluded from that rule.
Q said, y'all fan wishy-washy. Pennies is my God, and I'm sticking to it. He's the only one that plays with the dog, and I can't wait till he get back. I mean, can't none of us wait till he get back, but I'm not wishy-washy. I just keep it real. I keep telling y'all, I ain't had nothing against Penny starting. I just didn't feel like he'll be ready for the season. That's all I said, and y'all took that out of context. I don't know why. But hey, y'all did.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Let's finish this part, and I had to go back just a little bit so he can talk about the quarterback position.
Well, I forgot about
what to expect. See, you get sidetracked so easy, but let's
feeling and then have a plan for tomorrow.
After you looked at the tape, how did you think Jack played?
This is Jack Strand, by the way.
Yeah, I'd say very. I kind of put that quarterback position in one bucket. I thought both Coop and Jack did a nice job of taking what was there. I thought the ball went where the ball is supposed to go most of the time. Are there little things that we have to clean up with young players? Absolutely. Whether it's play calls or whatever. There's always little things with young players. So Jack has room to grow. But when the quarterback position is playing it on time and the ball's going where it's supposed to go, that's what it should look like. Also, you have to point out the protection was outstanding. And that's no small part to playing good quarterback play.
Spent a lot of effort this offseason on the floor, the back end of your roster. Do you think that how well you looked against Indianapolis was an indication, or was sort of a testament to that, or maybe a validation that you feel like you did it?
I think you have to be careful just with results, and certainly results in preseason games. Listen, we're out there, they're keeping score. We want to win. You make no mistake about that. But you also have to take everything into account in that regard.
Has Strand done enough to earn, positional battles aside, maybe more reps at least with the ones or higher player situation got in practice?
We'll continue to work different guys in there. At this point, Jack's going to work with the 2s and 3s, but very excited about his development. But it goes back to the earlier point of all of our young players, we have a plan to bring them along and develop them. And the player development is a huge part of what we do. Whether you're talking about the quarterback position, the linebacker position, nose tackle, I don't care. Player development is important to us, and being intentional about how we bring players along is important to us.
He can't say it no clearer, and I'm glad he said that, because that put everything in perspective as to how they're approaching the season as far as the quarterback position.
Oh man, yeah,
but
man.
That point that you made, that's why it made perfect sense. You start the 2 veterans in the first half. In the second half, you start the other 2 quarterbacks just to see what everybody got in. Everybody has. Just that simple.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta pull it up. Good comment right here. Again, that's why I said I know the flavor on the field was vanilla bean, but even in that, we've seen
quarterbacks what he said
who are veterans. We've seen guys who are veterans in that same vanilla throwing picks, going back the other way, fumble, all that good stuff like that. But that is a good point. Yeah. Berto, what it do, man?
Berto, what's up, my guy? He said, we really interested in seeing what Braden Trice has to offer. Is he worth keeping a guy like Carlos Allen off the roster? Shout out to Carlos Allen. Shout out to Carlos Allen Sr., man. Good friend of mine. Grew up with him in Bourne Homes. That's a great question, Berto. The way the pass rush should look right now, it's going to be hard. But again, the way Carlos Allen has been playing, and Braden Trice hasn't seen the field in 2 seasons, you got to stick with the younger guy. You got to stick with what's hot right now. What you need. They do need interior defensive linemen. They do need that depth in that position. And since they just brought in Darius Smith, to me, honestly, that pushes Braden Trice a little bit out the door. Just saying.
Yeah, I need Zadarius to get into football shape. I seen a video where he looked pretty slow. I ain't gonna lie to you. I guess got to keep it gangster with y'all on that one. Now he could have been just going half speed. I want to put that out there in perspective. It wasn't a game, but it just, that I'm like, why y'all had to put that video out though? I'm like, he didn't do nothing else. I'm like, it just.
What did I just?
I already know what it's gonna do, man. I'm pretty sure the video exploded. I'm pretty sure the video exploded. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that felt like that. I just looked at the video. I said, look kind of slow. And I just kept on scrolling, but I'm pretty sure it was plenty of comments and people that feel the same way. I'm like, why y'all had to put that video out?
That's how the media keep their stories going. They do things like this just because. But before we keep going, man, shout out to Twitter, man. It's 353 people on my page right now on Twitter. Please come over to YouTube, comment. Please come over, subscribe, like videos, hype us up. Me and A1 forever. And we appreciate y'all, man, because we got like 560 people in here watching right now. So thank y'all. This is our biggest live so far in this off season. Thank y'all. But Ms. Drea Matt said the bottom line is you can play with physical injuries. Playing with mental injuries can put you out of the game. That goes for Penix and Tua at this point. I pray they're both good, and she absolutely right. An injury is an injury, point blank.
Fact.
Miss Christie, what's good? What's good, Miss Christie? Y'all go check out Miss Christie on the Ladybirds of AFN, man. They doing their thing over there. Miss Maggie T, Britt, they doing their thing. Miss Pam, they doing their thing over there, man. And they evolving every day, and they actually have a new show coming on radio soon. So y'all please go over there and check them out, and they'll give y'all the info on that.
Yeah, man. Braylon Trice, man, that's a very interesting thing too. Because Braylon Trice, man, like we really need his production. But there are guys like Carlos Allens, like Keyshawn Banks, who are out here, available and impressing. If I'm the coach, and I never will be, but if I'm the coach, I have to reward the guys who are available and reward the guys who are being productive. I understand positions and all that stuff like that. I get it. It's so many guys you can keep at certain positions, but at the same time, I don't want to necessarily say waste a spot on a guy just because he plays a different position of need, but he ain't been there. And we've seen that with 44, and now we're having it with 48. So again, I'm pulling Braylon Trice, but Braylon got to get out there. He was in a yellow non-contact jersey yesterday. He hasn't been able. He's been rehabbing and going through, and it's just something about these knees with certain guys. Again, that just shows you right there that human biology right there. It's not every guy can automatically come back from a knee injury, depending on what position they play.
I don't let some people just not biologically fit for that. And there's no knock. And I tell people about Adrian Peterson, he was just a different freak of nature. His body build was just different. Because if you just look at the way he worked out and the way he was built, he was just a tank. But Ghost Peppers said Tua is labeled an accurate passer because completion percentage and ball placement where a pass goes, whereas interception reflect decision-making pressure and risk. And that's absolutely, it don't get no simpler than that. And when you talk about one of the best decision makers in the game, Tua's in that conversation whether you want to, agree with it or not. 68% percentage. How many quarterbacks do you see that do that for their entire career? Drew Brees is one, Tom Brady is another, but those guys are Hall of Famers. I mean, it's and the thing too, system fit. They built the offense around Tua, and he knowed it front to back. So maybe that's why he's having problems catching on here. Who knows? Keith, I've been saying this, people been getting mad, but if he's ready to go week 1, I would not be mad. But again, I said start the season on the PUP list. That was just my thoughts because I want him to be 100% when he came back. And now mentally, if he's 100% mentally, you got to think about it. But if not, that would be ideal week 3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, again, just if that's the best diagnosis for it, I mean, I'm all for it. Regardless, I feel like it's mostly on Michael Penix. Now, he has been cleared. So it is on Michael Penix and the coaching staff. If Michael Penix impresses enough, shows that he has the mental fortitude, which I think he has because he's been in that dark room a few times and been able to come out. So it's like, I believe he has the mental fortitude. He just got to find it again in a different space now because it's like, yeah, this has happened again. We've been here again, but hey, we're going to bounce back again, so I am, expecting, Michael Penix to show his merit, show all the things that, that got him drafted. So I'm expecting Michael Penix to impress this coaching staff. And if he does it enough, then he may be trotting out there week 1, bro. I mean, he might. He's been cleared, and Tua never grabbed this job by the horns at all. Think about it. Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy, they ain't got that problem.
No contest.
They ain't got that problem in Minnesota. But
because Kyler Murray knew when he was going there, he was going to give his all right up front. And he knew that he was going for that job, and he put his best foot forward. Not saying Tua hasn't, but Kyler Murray has a different mindset. People always talk about he's a diva. He's a hell of a player when he's healthy. To me, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have, eye-popping numbers, but he gets the job done. And Christian said since we started dehoarding players last season, we should continue with let them go this year. We need wins, and we've been doing that. We're not holding on to everybody. That's why Chris said something about Bryce, and that's why I said Carlos Allen Jr., he could be one of those ones that sneak in because we know he's going to go out there and give his all, and most important, he's available. Just saying. Millie Mills, what's up, my guy? He said, we all going to know the fact that JPJ doesn't have a sack in preseason. And he played well into the second half.
He sure did.
Billy, I'm gonna be honest with you. We just talked about it, mental health. You gotta think when he's been through, you gotta think when he's been through this offseason, and now he's going through therapy. He's got to get through all of that to get into football mode to play every single Sunday. So what he has to do while he has those 8 weeks off, get in the film room, keep your therapy going. Try to get into the mind frame of being the kind of football player you were last year.
Yep,
you got to do all that before you get to week 9.
Yep, you got to work out. And again, that mental, like, it seemed, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Since his first snap against Denver, I feel like he's been checked out. I feel like it's one of those things like, bro, like, y'all don't suspended me. I'm gone for the next couple weeks. And I don't need to be doing nothing crazy to mess around and hurt myself or something. And then now I'm setting the team back even further. I already don't done enough.
Right.
So it's like, and kind of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of feel like he's just going through the motions. He's not trying to get hurt. He's already suspended. There's nothing more he really can do. I mean, get out there and get some cardio. That's pretty much what they're out there doing.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, man. They still going wild up on Twitter. It's up to 600 right now. So Twitter going crazy right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Truly appreciate y'all. But Mr. Christie said, are you saying that for preseason, Smitty, start the vets and then Strand? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but will they do it? I don't think so.
That's what I was saying. I was like, hey, it's either going to be a world to where you have Penix and Tua, I believe, split in the first quarter. I think Cooper would be second quarter regardless. And I think Strand is going to get the third and fourth quarters. But I was just wondering if they wanted to start Penix, how many snaps do you give him, and do you split the first quarter between him and Tua? Now, I really probably wouldn't even necessarily play Penix. I want to see what Tua has because, again, I got cuts coming up, and I need to pick up the phone, all these different things because we're getting close to the season, and you never ran away with this job, and it seems like you're struggling with the job right now. Now, it's only one day. We don't know. Today could be a way better day for Tua, and he could, kill the rest of the week. But there's also the possibility of him not doing it. And if Michael Penix is looking better than you in 11 on 11s the entire week, you go to the game and you're not looking good in that game, which is the final preseason game against a team that paid you to leave, said, get out of here, and then you still don't look good. You're going to have to make some tough decisions. That is what you get paid.
That's every year, though. That's every year we go through these tough roster moves. And Solomon, shout out to Solomon, man. We got to kick at him last weekend at the meet and greet. He said, do y'all feel like the Falcons are going to make some more moves after the final cuts? Depends on who becomes available. If they can get a solid role player at defensive tackle, wide receiver, offensive line still, they probably make another move or two, depending on who becomes available and what the contract could look like.
Right.
So yeah, we could see it. Absolutely.
That's what it all comes down to. That roster cuts, you start looking at looking at rosters, you start looking at practice squads and all that stuff like that when the final 53 is made. That's why I like teams kind of like keep a roster spot open here and keep some money right there. So, they possibly can like swoop in and get a guy, pay a guy, whatever. So, yeah, man. Hey, shout out to you.
Lele 79 said, been a Falcon fan since 1990 from DC. Appreciate you.
Rise up.
Good to see out-of-state Falcon fans, man. He said, I like the way we're making right moves. Excited by Daniels Jr. and Branch. Agreed. I like all of those.
Daniels, Harold Perkins Jr. and Branch, yeah.
He said, D-Mac said he hear me, but Tua is overrated as an accurate passer. He mostly operates underneath. I mean, if that was the offense called for, we can't do nothing about that. And to be honest, he loves slants, and he's been like that since Bama because he always had speed at the wide receiver position.
Right.
Jalen Waddles was with him at Alabama, so that's what he used to. But we added speed to this roster, and then we can get into what he's comfortable with until Penix is fully ready, or if Penix takes the job. I'm for it. I mean, I can't knock that, but I mean to say that it's because of underneath stuff. I mean, if that's what the roster calls for, evidently, were you looking what he was doing in Miami because he was slinging bombs downhill to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle at one point. And he had to get used to that because Tyreek Hill lit into him about him not making the ball reach. So he had to keep working on, his deep throws. So he worked on it. He got better. And that's why he got to the point where he was damn near 5,000 yards 3 years ago. So, maybe we'll see.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying JPJ should at least have one by now. It's preseason. You're a 10.5 sack guy playing late in the third quarter each game. You don't get a sack yet. I don't know, bro. Maybe he got a lot on his mind, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like
mentally.
And then think about this too. He still love Rakia. He still got mad love for.
Yeah. That don't change overnight.
Yeah, man. He still love that. He still love her. So you got to think about that. He dealing with that. He dealing with his football life. He dealing with the legal system.
Finances too. Think about all the money he just lost.
Yes, bro. All that money. His whole contract is voided by NFL law. Yep. So just think about that, bro. I don't lost a lot. Yeah, I'm just out here just to make sure I don't get hurt, just so I have an opportunity to maximize. Because guys who don't get hurt, guys who who stay healthy, they get the max amount of money. Because you can't say, "Oh, you was injured." No, I wasn't. Ain't nothing happened to me, Jack. I'm right as rain. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, bro? It's like nothing happened to me. It's just so you gotta think about that from a perspective. At the end of the day, this is all a business. He go out there and try to get all crazy in preseason and do something and mess up his business, which is JPJ, himself, the player. He can't do that. I think, again, since the suspension has came down, I believe that JPJ is checked out and he's just going through the motions to get to the actual suspension date. And we'll probably see the real JPJ when he comes back, because then it's real football.
Facts. I got another update, man. Shout out to y'all on Twitter, man. We almost up to 1,000 viewing the show right now. So shout out to y'all. Let's get that thing well over 1,000, man, and keep it going.
Love it.
Ghost Pepper said, I don't think Trice makes the 53. He missed a significant development time over the first 2 seasons. That's true. Due to unfortunate knee injuries, keeping him from logging a regular season snap. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with it.
Very unfortunate situation. I hate it because you think about the guy, and we officially just reached 1,000 guys. Thank you to everybody, man. Really appreciate that, seriously. But my thing is with Trice, bro, it's so freaking unfortunate seeing that the guy that he was, him and Dorless, they were supposed to be some of your booking guys. You bring in Walker, you bring in JPJ. You was kind of supposed to have this. I mean, of course, you still got Zach Harrison too. So like all those guys was kind of supposed to be like a core nucleus type thing. And Trice is unfortunate for him because he has that pass rush ability, that get off ability, but he just can't get off the bench, man, and get on the field. And I hate it. I really hate it. Hopefully it's still time, but but that hourglass, boy, that sand running out.
Richie, I'm gonna keep my first thought. Even though we uncertain at the quarterback position, I'm still saying 10 games because we just have too much talent on this team. And if we just coach them the right way and they seem like they getting back to the way they need to be last week, yeah, they second and third string players. But as he said, you got to give a shout out to the offensive line. You got to. Because they, even though they were backups, they still played to the best of their ability to try to fight for a job. And if that can be our starters, yeah. And Bijan, the running back, yeah, you control the clock, we can win 10 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have so much talent, bro. We have so much talent around. If we can just get the quarterback to stay upright, that's going to be one thing because they have more options to get the ball downfield. Corners can't cover forever. You know what I'm saying? They can't cover forever. So it's like eventually somebody's going to get loose if the more time in the pocket a guy has, or if he just sees a lane, he can take it depending on who the quarterback is and the mobility. So it's like, bro, you have so many different options that can happen if we can have a competent quarterback to get the ball to Bijan, Drake, Kyle Pitts, you know what I'm saying? Let Jahan Dotson prove that he is worth something in the NFL. And also, you know, you have guys like, Cass Jones, Tyler Goodson. You know, you got to find ways to keep guys like that around because those guys are guys that can help move the chains. And depending on if the blocks are picked up, depending on if a guy misses, if a guy whiffs on a tackle, you can have some of these guys going to the house, and you've seen it. It's a lot of hungry guys out there. You got to reward them with roster spots if you have it, for real.
Yeah. But Coach Peppers and Trace has continued to deal with minor setbacks during training camp, stalling the momentum he desperately needs, and basically that's all it could be. That's all it could be. Willie, what's up, my guy? It was a pleasure meeting you at the meet and greet, my guy.
Yes, man.
Shout out to Willie, man. He down to earth guy. And I went to Douglas High School. He went to Mays. He know about the rivalry, but we still had a decent conversation. Shout out to Willie, man.
It's all love, man. It's all love out here, and rise up.
Yeah, man. But I mean, look, man, another great show. You got anything else to add on, Chris? You can freely do that.
I'm wondering, bro, because I know that we're gonna have more 11-on-11s, and depending on what's being said, and depending on reports that are coming out, bro, I'm kind of feeling old late night tippish. Feeling late night tippish.
Hey, if you for it, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, man, kind of running it back, man.
I wish I
had the song to just cue and just play right now. Doom, 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 doom.
We might get copyrighted for that.
Yeah. So that's why I'm glad I don't have it already ready. Because you know me, I've been on set.
Knowing you, probably so. But Matty Go says should do is on the bench because the owner wants to get some money out of the exuberant contract he gave Watson. I mean that. Look.
Yeah,
I said that on the video I just did earlier. That's why I feel like the move was made. Yeah. If they cut him $120-some million in dead cap, they're not finna do that.
They're not finna do that, bro. That's more money than what Miami just did with Tua. They had like 99 million. Browns like, listen, hold my beer. We finna cut the shine. Nah, they got to play the contract, bro. They got to play it. They got to play it.
Yeah,
I hate it for Shador. They got to play it.
I love that saying, man. What have you done for me lately? That's what the NFL is. What have you done for me lately? Unfortunately for Trice, it may be a little too late. Jew, what's up, my guy? Yeah. I mean, look, I'm telling you, it just like that, man. It's just like that. But that's for you, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that super sticker. That's super. Thank y'all for the super chats, man. Of course, on A1 Forever Sports, and of course also on Smitty Sports Machine. Of course, we come together all the time because we brothers, but we do have our individual channels. We appreciate the likes, and y'all make sure if y'all liking and commenting on Smitty Sports Machine, y'all come on over as well to the stream on A1 Forever Sports, and y'all do the same there, man. Helps us both get out there in the algorithm. Y'all know how treacherous these trenches can be in the YouTube space, so we really appreciate you.
Facts. And shout out to y'all, man, for tuning in, man. We up to 1,200 followers and 1,200 eyes right now on the show at one time. For me, that's a personal record.
Same here.
Shout out to y'all, man. Personal record for me at 1:03 p.m. in the day, over 1,200 people watching right now. 1,023 on Twitter, 174 on my channel. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Boy, y'all don't know how long I've been waiting to see that. A long time. So shout out to y'all, man. Keep running them numbers up. And if y'all watching right now, please go over to A1 Forever. Please like, subscribe, hype up his videos. Come over to Smitty Sports Machine, do the same. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so every time we go live, y'all will know it. But again, before we get out of here, Ms. Drea, thank you for the donation. Truly appreciate it. She says totally off topic. With Mr. Blank settling with Mr. Blake settling a piece of the team, how will it affect the front office decision making? Will it flow downhill? Ooh, that's a good question. Ooh, man.
That's interesting. I don't think it's going to affect anything immediately because things are already in place. Mr. Blank still is majority owner, so even with these guys coming in, they may have like a little say so here and there. This all depends on what's in the contract of like what's the verbiage in the contract, because all these things have contracts you sign, all that stuff. So I'm wondering what's in the contract as verbiage. Like, are you going to you have this percentage, but are you dealing with the football day to day? Are you included in any of that? Any say so? So that's what I'm wondering about.
Right.
But honestly,
that's a good question.
Mr. Blank probably has that separate away from everything, because you don't want folks, certain folks coming in, even though they're buying stuff, they dilly-dallying in different things, especially if they're not football people. So but to their defense, they do have stakes in other teams too. I think 3 other teams as well.
Right.
So now the Falcons will make 4.
But I'm sure they had a conversation before they sold whatever stake they sold. I think it was 10%. And the crazy thing about that, it was 1.6 billion. That's triple damn near what he paid for the Falcons 25 years ago. Think about that. That's just how much times it changed as far as finances. But
Arthur Blank bought the Atlanta Falcons on my birthday. That's another thing. That's crazy too.
Crazy. Yeah, it was on your birthday. It was my brother's birthday as well. What was I about to say? About the decision making part. I don't think it'll affect anything. I do feel like, and I've been feeling like this for about damn near 2 years, and I've been seeing it slowly evolve. I think it's slowly changing hands anyway to Josh Blank anyway, because Arthur is 83, 84 years old. He's getting up in age. He's probably going to try to smoothly transition as much power as he can to Josh to keep running his team no matter what, so he can enjoy his time where he has left. And I think that's a smart move. So add more owners right now as to when he's not on this earth anymore is a smart move in my opinion, because you want to see what is being built before you leave, and just don't leave it in anybody's hands. Because we've seen, even with the Bush family right now with the Lakers, they don't want to see the back end of what they have left in the team, because they know that nobody will treat the team like they treated the team the last 45 years. They know they're not. So it's a legacy on the line. And when your legacy on the line, you just not going to turn your team over to anybody. I would hope. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it. Oh, just to add to your point about that, for those who are wrestling fans, look at WWE and TKO.
Yep.
WWE, I'm saying, like, they facilitated the whole thing, the whole situation that was going on with Vince, and how he had to step away, all this stuff like that. Now TKO is pretty much owning WWE, doing whatever they want with it. People are complaining about matches. People are complaining about not being used. People are complaining about only certain guys sitting at the top. But that's because you have TKO. They want the money makers. You ever hear the term play the hits? Well, they want to play the hits on repeat until you're doggone tired of it. And it's just hard to elevate others. But, if certain other guys will maybe own the company, maybe certain things like that wouldn't be happening. So, but they own the entire company, if I'm not mistaken.
And I give y'all a good example before I leave. Imagine imagine if the last Steinbrenner kid died and passed away, and they changed ownership and they ran their franchise into the ground. The New York Yankees have won 27 world championships. Imagine just turning that team over to anybody and it's not the same anymore and not a championship in sight. When you have something in motion and it's going in the right direction, leave it that way.
That's true.
And yeah, we haven't won, a championship yet, but at the same time, you just don't want to leave your team and your franchise in the hands of just money hungry people because it will run it into the ground. And I agree with what's happening. And I don't have a problem with it at all. But yeah, find me on Smitty Sports Machine right here on YouTube. And again, thank everybody coming over from Twitter. We at 1,349 right now, almost 1,200 on Twitter. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And again, man, we'll be back soon for another live. Don't know when. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? But we'll definitely be back Thursday for the roster prediction going into the final preseason game. And look, appreciate the Jews. Appreciate it. But yeah, look. This got to be our season, man. This got to be a building block. But also catch me on Facebook at Antoine Smitty Smith. Also catch me on Instagram at AN2WON, and catch me on Smitty Sports Machine on TikTok. I'm rarely over there, but I still be tuned in to everybody, man. Ms. Drill, thank you for the donation. Thank you for tuning in. Thank everybody for tuning in. Dan, thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Notification on Chris's channel. Also, thumbs up. Thanks for the reminder. That's what I'm saying, Dan. Thank you for always being supportive, my guy. We appreciate you. Kenneth, I appreciate you, my guy. Hawks, appreciate another 5 jewels. Appreciate it. But again, man, we got to roll on out of here because my boy got to get to work. And we'll see y'all soon because we know it's more news. And if I had the time today and some more news break, y'all know I got you. But don't forget to go check out Chris on Falcon Digest as well. That's another Falcon channel. So we're going to support all Falcons content creators as much as we can. But go check him out on Falcon Digest, Hawks Digest, and A1 Forever. But we're going to roll on out here, man, because y'all know what the time it is. Chicken wing time, and I'm a holler, man.
Peace.